Hey guys, happy, I guess, Halloween Eve or night before Halloween. Yeah, Halloween Eve because it's not Halloween yet. And so I just decided to do a little bonus video for you guys really quick because I could and I wanted to. And yeah, so that's what we're doing today. We're doing a little Haunted Mansion inspired card. I normally don't do stuff on Sunday, but I don't know. I just was motivated. Oops, my face is like cut off. Let me lean back a little bit. So yeah. Oh, and there's my little Stampin' Up box there in the back. I don't know if you guys can see my Halloween tree. I'll lean a little bit over. So, oh, it's not lit up. I had it plugged in. I've been trying to plug it in every morning, but so that's my little Halloween tree. And the mini, I finally got her put together. Her light bulb burned out, so I need to get a new one. But I'm hoping at the Dollar Tree I might be able to find a light bulb because I really don't want to spend $5 on a light bulb to light her up. But anyway, side note. So today is a little bonus Disney treat card for you guys with current product. I showed you one before with old product. So I've got one today for current product. I don't know why I was thinking of it, but anyway, so we'll just go ahead and we'll get started. All right, so, it's like in a nice spot today. I've been adjusting to that new little stand, so thanks for your patience, you guys. We've got, we're gonna use the Design-A Treat box stamp set and the dies. Now the dies come with a bunch of pieces. So just so you can see, let me move this one. So this is the box here. And these little pieces here are little, kind of like for your sentiment, or you can add a little like design or something onto these, like so they can go on your, you can stamp a sentiment in there, like you can stamp for you, or if you have something, you can even stamp the face in here. We're not doing that today because that's not the design, but I wanted to show you a little Haunted Mansion something. And so hopefully Marsha tunes in because Marsha and Carol Lee are my huge, well, actually most of the people that follow me, I feel like are Disney fans. I think that's what they like about some of my designs is that they're Disney related a lot of the time. What I loved about this Design-A Treat box, what had me at hello, so to speak, sorry, let me move that light down for a second, was these wings right here, these bat wings. I was in love. I couldn't get enough of just these wings. And then these are antlers for Christmas, bunny ears, obviously for Easter. These also can be for reindeer antlers. You could probably do another type of little animal with these little ears. And then these are like the top of a bow, like for a present. And what's cool is they give you two of them, so they layer together. One of them I think is slightly smaller. I could be wrong. They might not be smaller. But the cool thing is that you can run more than one. Same with the ovals. Here they give us 3 ovals. So, when you're doing treat boxes in mass, if you had to do this oval over and over and over again, it gets annoying. So if you could run 3 ovals at one time, 3 little sentiment holders at one time, it makes things much better, And then also the numbers, and these numbers I'll show you. I don't want to open my box yet because the little numbers, kind of fly around, and you guys know I have cats and they'll jump up and knock something over if I'm not careful. So I just wanted to show, and look, there's even this stripe, which you could easily use. I just realized I could use this for a Haunted Mansion design later. I didn't even see it. The things I think of later. Anyway, now this does not fit on here. What happens is this little box will fit inside this stamp, but not the other way around. So this can be like an outline. I'll show it to you in a minute because I don't want to lose my pieces. So hopefully I'll remember to show it to you in a minute. So today we're doing a little Haunted Mansion. I gave you a little sneak peek of this. I did this I did this I think back in the spring. I did this Haunted Mansion card. And I did a Haunted Mansion treat box similar to this a few, like a month or two ago. But I really wanted to do this card for you using current product. That was my first concern. And this stamp is sold out. And this stamp set, as well as this punch. And I was trying to think of an alternative that would work, that you could do it now. Now, granted, I know Halloween's tomorrow, but if you wanted to whip up a Haunted Mansion card, if you have these products on hand, or if this is what you want to do for next year, it would be good to get these things now. So just giving you a heads up. Sorry, I had to turn a little light on there. Hopefully that added a little bit of light. It's just a little hard to see. This is ribbon on top of black. There we go. This is ribbon on top of black paper. And you'll see what I do here in a second. It's a real quick card. And I just love it. Oh, okay. Where's my... There it is. Okay. So I'm using Evening Evergreen, which is such a rich green, as you can see from the light. Now, it's not even as gorgeous in the video as it is in person. I like green, don't get me wrong. I don't usually like this kind of green. I tend to like the Parakeet Party because it's a party. Hello. I don't tend to like the darker, but for some reason, this Evening Evergreen, I have been in love with. So I use Evening Evergreen, and I use the ribbon that it coordinates with it. So I took a piece of 4-inch, this is a 4 1/4 by 11-inch card base. And oh, I need a insert for us. Let me grab a couple just in case. Okay, so I did 4 1/4 by 11 inches. I always like the top fold. I just kind of prefer it. Oops. Because my friends also like to tent, you know, the card when they put it up. And so that's what we're doing here, except we're going to be using current product. So this is a little 4-inch by, this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, because I scored this at 5 1/2. So remember, when you do it, you always want to go 1/4 inch less than what you have. So I just take my Evening Evergreen open weave ribbon. Every single in color from last year, from 2021, they have this open weave ribbon. I'll hold it up a little closer. And so it's got this nice shimmer to it, and it's got a very faint like organza in the middle, and I just love it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 6 pieces of this. So let me grab my fabric scissors real quick. So this is probably 5 1/4, so that's 5 1/2. It's probably close to 6 inches that I'm cutting. I'm not going to cut too much extra because I want to make sure I have enough for my whole card. And so I'm going to cut 6 pieces of it. And like I said, I'm just eyeballing it. It's approximately 6 inches though, because the card is 5 1/2. Another thing you could do is you could get the one you want and then what's the word? So I could take this one and cut it, like measure where I want it, and then fold it in half. That's another trick, except my hands are kind of shaky right now this minute. Maybe I had a little too much candy, maybe. So I'm a little shaky. Okay, so I just need 6 of these. All right. So it takes a lot of ribbon, but the effect is good. And you're not using any paper. So I don't know if you guys realize, but this is what the costumes for the cast members at the Haunted Mansion wear. They always wear this Evening Evergreen color with black stripes. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I need one more. And it always has black stripes. Well, because this has this open weave organza, I don't know what that is, Terry. I don't know what you mean by avid card crafter. I don't understand. So this is just an open weave ribbon, and so it shines that black through. And so I wanted to make sure I shared I wanted to make sure I shared this little trick with you guys and then showed you how you can make it with current cardstock and current product. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place the outsides first. A tip is often if you place the outside of stripes first, you can make it a little more even when you're eyeballing it. You can also measure it if you want to get real, technical. It's up to you. So I'm going to do approximately 1/4 inch here, and I'm just going to tape it. I tend to just tape because I can also reposition. Excuse me. I can also reposition. There's a nice little cat hair on the back of the card. You guys don't even know. Sometimes you'll get a card from me and you'll get a bonus cat hair on the back. I'm just letting you know. This tape. I bet you it's because it fell or something. Okay. And so, oops, that one moved. Yeah, so, okay. Whoop, I almost bent it in half there for a second. And tomorrow I'm going to have another card. But, tomorrow's just going to be another craft. It's not going to be a card tomorrow. But I thought I'd give you this Halloween bonus today as, hi Sylvia, I wanted to give you this little Halloween bonus because I didn't like that my other videos, 1, they had retired product, and 2, I found an option so that it had current product, which, because maybe you don't have, the old stuff from last year. So I'm making essentially almost the same thing I did last year, but with current product. And I thought that was helpful. So you see, you only got a tiny bit of ribbon here when you do it at about 6 inches, but that's okay. It's enough. Oh, that went a little haywire on me. And so this could be just a spooky type of, this could be a spooky card too. It doesn't have to be Haunted Mansion. But if you're a Disney person, you'll know exactly my reference when we're talking about it. Okay, so now we need to put these other 4 in the center. Now, if you know anything about Haunted Mansion, they tend not to be in straight stripes like this. It's actually tends to be where there's a pretty big gap between the two. And so these two have a small gap, but the gap between the next one is going to be larger. So let me see how big I want. Let me see how big I want this gap in the middle here. There we go. I think I want it right there. Okay. And remember, I can readjust it a little bit because I'm using Scotch tape. And so, whoops. Yeah. So I'll have another video tomorrow for our Magic Monday, but you're getting a bonus Halloween today. So I probably had a tip in my other video on how to get the ribbon right, but I didn't watch it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because see, you want to have this wide gap between the other side here. And so these two will be together. Yeah, and that's good. Because the Haunted Mansion stripe is a funny stripe. I wish I had something with the reference on it for you so you could see that the striping isn't a typical even stripe and evenly spaced is the word. Evenly spaced. Oops, that's a little too close together. There we go. There we go. Okay, and so then we do the other ones. Oh, this one's a little tight. And so we put that same gap. This one just gets a tiny gap. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna work. not wallpaper. Did I say wallpaper earlier? I meant costume. So I kind of like that I'm not stamping on this card. It is a little fussy because you do have to keep messing with the tape, but I mean, tape is cheap. And I can move the tape. Like this one's a little crooked here, so I can move my tape a little bit and reposition it. Just a tiny bit to the right. And usually the tape will peel up pretty easily. It's enough to secure. Oops, I did it the wrong way. I meant to go the other way, I think. Which way do I need to go? Yeah. A little bit more. Whoops, that one pulled up. Let's see. I'm sorry the visual looks bad. There we go, it's settled down. Okay. And now we do this other one. So it's like single and then a wide gap and then 2 ribbon with the narrow gap and then a wide gap and then 2. So it's like a little rotation. Hopefully that's right. Hopefully I won't have to reposition anything. Nope, there we go. It worked. Okay. So as you can see, let's make sure that's nice and tight. And I'm actually going to grab my tear and tape here. Okay. So you see it's a single ribbon, wide gap, 2 of them together where there's a really narrow spot in between, a wide gap here, 2 where there's a narrow and then a wide gap and then a single on the side. And the goal of that was just to make sure that I got the design of the cast member. This is the design of their stripe. And you know what I'm going to do to make sure these ribbons stay secure? Because I cut them kind of short. I don't have a ton of extra evening evergreen, so I was a little cautious. I was going to run out. I'm going to add some tear and tape right across the top here. And that's how I'm going to secure it to my card. Now, you could just add white tape, white glue too. I just really want to make sure that these ribbons are going to hold down. They should, between the tape and the tear and tape, they should be fine. I'm just going to add a couple pieces just to make sure that the Scotch tape stays down, and then also to make sure that I'm not putting this on dimensionals or anything, so it should secure nicely. Stampin' Plus would probably work too. I don't really use Stampin' Plus. I just like the tear and tape for some reason, and so I tend to use that. We all have our favorite adhesives, our favorite tools. And we're just popping this right onto the card front. It's not a difficult card per se, other than the manipulation of the ribbon. Okay. Okay. There we go. Just be careful when you're pressing, because you don't want, I think when I made the card last time, I went like that and it pulled one of the ribbons off. So make sure you press with the ribbon grain, so to speak. Yeah, there we go. And that way it presses down all that tear and tape that I have underneath right here, and that'll hold all that together. So then, in order to get our tombstone like we have in the original, I realized that I could take, a piece of, there we go. Oh, that's strange. This one must be, this is like a card base, but I think it must be jammed up because I shoved it in my scraps. And so I'm going to punch out. This is the everyday tag. Sorry, wayward glue. And we're gonna need it. Okay, there we go. So this is the everyday tag. So I punched out the everyday tag, and I'm also gonna punch out a piece of gray that I had handy. Come on. I had a big old piece of gray here. There it is. And then we're gonna punch out a gray one here. So it's not the same exact design of the other one. You could also get a darker gray. I don't have a gray scrap. Let's see, do I have a darker gray? Oh, I do. I think I might want this basic gray, you know, because it's Haunted Mansion, you know, it's for the tombstone. And so we'll decide on which one I want in a minute. Okay, so there we go. Okay. And we're going to take our Evening Evergreen ink and we're going to stamp on the, let's see which one looks better. The lighter, I think the darker, because of all that black, the darker looks better. Okay, so then I'm going to take my Evening Evergreen. Now, Evening Evergreen is almost like a black, and we're going to use Best Witches, which is from the Best Witches stamp set that's current, and the frog that's from the Best Witches. I just think he's cute, and I think he would fit our little card. So we're going to use the Best Witches stamp and the frog from it. And I also thought about using, if you've got it, Haunt It. But I don't know, Best Witches on a tombstone sounds a little bit better to me for some reason. So we're going to stamp our little, hopefully it'll fit. Let's make sure it fits. Oh, it's just going to barely fit. I didn't make a sample of this one. I just assumed it would. So we're going to do Best Witches in Evening Evergreen. Ooh, I did not ink that. It's like barely showing. It's a little crooked. I don't like how it's pretty crooked. Hang on. I normally don't, this is when you have, it's good to have a Stamparatus. The Stamparatus is so good because you get your stuff right basically every single time. This particular stamp is a tiny bit off. Like the rubber is shifted, the foam and the rubber don't match exactly. Okay, let me make sure. If my face is in, I'm sorry. There we go. Dang, it still ran off the side because it's barely fitting. Okay, there we go. That works. That one's good. It's still coming off the side. It just barely fits is the problem on this one. So this one could have worked too, but I think this one's the straightest. And then what you do is you take, okay, there's a couple things you can do to like darken up this gravestone. You can take some black or you can take the green. I think I'm going to take the black actually. So what you do is you just take your black ink and you just, let me grab one of the ones that's messed up. This one's one of the messed up ones. So what happens is you just go along the edge of your ink pad and it'll darken up the edges just a little bit. And that's what I'm gonna do here. I just wanted to test it out. I've done it before, but I just wanted to make sure it was still gonna look right. You could also take a tissue. Oops, see, like that one's too much. Let me get a little tissue. It's a little bit of a juicy. Oops, there goes my wayward camera. All right, so what you can do is you can also dab even just a tissue onto a, yeah, this will be better. Because see, what you risk is sometimes you'll get like a big blotch when if you're not careful, you'll get like a big smudge. The whole point is you're supposed to make the tombstone look like a little bit dirty, a little bit shaded, so to speak. There we go. That's much better. You can also use a blotter. We have these little Stampin' daubers, and I'm sure I have one somewhere, but I'm not going to go look for it right now because we're on camera, and so it just makes the tombstone look a little more, yeah, worn. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to do the same thing to the evening evergreen piece at the top. So we got a little bonus Halloween card here for you guys. Yeah, the daubers work well because they give you a smoother finish than the Kleenex, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. And so we're still keeping this evening evergreen, but it just gives this nice dark shading. And so we'll do Best Witches. Part of me almost feels like it should be lower, but, or I need to have like a skull here or something. Let me do maybe I'll put the frog underneath it in the green. Let's see if the frog looks good underneath it. I'll do it on the messed up one over there, try it and see how it looks. It looks all right. It doesn't look that great. I think we'll just do Best Witches. I kind of need like, ooh, I have a bat. I have some bats right here. These will be good. We'll do some little bats. And that way, I just feel like the bottom of the tombstone looks a little boring. Okay, so these bats come from the Scary Cute. And I've shown this to you guys before. I could have used one of these as well on the tombstone, but I don't know. I just wanted something that seemed more like rest in peace. I have other Halloween stamps. I just wanted to show you something that was current. Okay, let's put a little bat on the bottom of it. Let me try it. Make sure it's, yeah, that'll look good. We'll do Best Witches with a bat. Yeah, it's this side. Or 3 bats. And this is from the Scary Cute stamp set. Okay, and then we're gonna layer the everyday tags. We're just gonna layer them right on top of each other with a little bit of glue. There we go. And so these fit right on top of each other. And because I use the white glue, I can adjust it. And it just gives that little bit of dimension so that you can, it looks like a 3D, a little more 3D than if I just had the plain gray on there. And then I'm gonna grab my dimensionals and I'm gonna use black dimensionals, which I never do. As you guys know, I tend to forget that I even have black dimensionals, but this is the perfect card for black dimensionals because everything on the card is dark. So using the white, sometimes it just shows, you know, when you turn the card to the side, you can see the white dimensional. Not really, these are pretty narrow, but it's just a tiny added thing to make your card look better. Okay, so where's my card? There we go. And I'm going to put it right at the bottom of the black. There we go. I think I need to re-ink my evening evergreen. It might not have been all the way closed when I used it the other day. There we go. Done. And then for the inside, like I told you before, I thought adding a little frog on the inside would be cute. So let me ink him up. And we could add the bats in the corner too. Might as well. Put my green frog right there. Yeah, I need to ink this up again. And then I'll add some bats too since I have it. And then I'm going to show you the treat box. Perfect. And I don't know if we're going to do any stamping on the treat box. I don't think so. Maybe. But I don't think. Oops, I might need to add a dimensional off the side because it's, I guess I didn't get it evenly. Yeah, it's not even. That's why it's popping up. Yeah, I didn't put it evenly, so it's, whoops. Whoops. Okay, we're gonna have to leave it. But it's kind of to the left, so like part of it's popping off of the ribbon. So I don't want to rip up the ribbon. Let me glue this down and then I'll show you the treat box. Then you have like a whole little gifty thing you can do with Haunted Mansion. I could have saved this for later, but I mean, if you guys have these supplies, you could make a quick little something for Halloween tomorrow. And I thought that'd be good. Cute. There we go. So then for, like I was showing you before, so here is the card I made last year. This was a different punch and we don't have this haunting stamp anymore. But this Best Witches works pretty well. And what's it called? And the bats and everything from Scary Cute. So I had to use a couple stamps to get my tombstone, but it still looks really cute. And so this is the everyday tag. And this was a everyday label, I think is what we called this. And it was longer. It came to about like here, and it had this scallop on each side. Whereas this tag is clearly just one-sided. Just has the scallop on the one side. So there's our card. And then for our little box, I have our little box here, and now I want to open this up for you. So our box is super cute. So look at the little, if you know anything about Haunted Mansion, they have these little gargoyles that are super cute. I didn't add any labels to this particular gargoyle because I just didn't think we needed it. But I'm going to add one in the demo. But look at how it matches so perfectly. So cute. And I don't know if you can see the little ribs of the wings. Like, how cute is that? The little bones of the wings are really obvious when you're up close. Okay. And so, all right. So what happens is you take your die and you cut out your little die piece. Okay. And we're going to need our pieces in a second. And so we're going to fold on all the score lines. Okay. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay. Oops, that's not the score line. I'm folding it wrong. I folded it like kind of crooked. And you just fold on the score lines. There we go. There's a little piece in here, leftover piece. Okay. And this one has a score line too. And it has all these little pieces cut out for you. So you don't have to cut them, they're already there. Mine tore a little bit because I had done 2 pieces of cardstock by mistake. So then with these little round pieces, you fold that one backward. That little round piece on the edge folds back because it does not go inward. Now it can go inward, but this is what helps hold the box together and helps you hold your little bat wings and everything. So let me go ahead and we'll take a little tear and tape, or you could use a little hot glue, It's a little trickier to use the hot glue. Oh, I wanted to show you, technically, you don't need to glue anything. If you don't want to glue it, you don't have to. Because look it. If I do it right, I don't have to glue even the sides. I'm gonna glue the sides because I want to attach those little ribbons. But technically, I don't need to glue the sides. It'll hold itself together without me gluing anything. I'm gonna glue it only because of the fact that I want to make sure that I can get that little, I want it to look real sharp. If you want sharp edges, then you need the glue. If you don't really care about the sharp edges, you don't need the glue. I learned that when I was making it. And so all you're gonna do is take a little bit of Tear and Tape because you want something strong. That's the key. And so that's why I'm using Tear and Tape, or some people have the red line tape that was like super thick, strong red tape. It's from the old days. It was hard to use though, because it was hard to peel off the little, the covering. Okay, and so, and it's just perfect for 3D objects. And so what you do is you just peel off a little strip one at a time. And so I'm gonna fold this little flap in and get these mitered corners right together. Then I'm gonna do it to the next side here. Same thing. Get that together. The last one is the trickiest, so I gotta make sure this right side is in. Make sure it's like almost in. There we go. Then I'll pull off this one and might push that in. Same thing. And you see, if I had this on the outside, it's gonna be, I'm gonna have to kind of, I can potentially rip the box when I pull off my little backing if I'm not careful. That's what happened yesterday, is I almost ripped my little box because I wasn't paying attention. So just be careful when you're, I just wanted the nice tight edges, and that's why I got the glue. But technically, you don't even need it. Okay, and then we pop, and this will hold maybe 2 of the mini Reese's cups, maybe 2 kisses max. You see, done. So there's our perfect little tiny box. Look, it's the tiniest thing. Look at my hand. So it's only, I think, 1 inch by 1.5 inch by, yeah, it's about 1.5 inches wide and 1 inch tall. So it's real tiny, and it's only 1 inch wide. It's not a perfect square. It's more like a tiny bigger, maybe it's 1 1/4. Yeah, it's 1 1/4 inch wide. So it's only 1/4 inch wider than it is long. So it's, I mean, really, really, really cute little tiny box. So to get my ribbon on, all I did was I added a tiny bit of Tear and Tape right here. You could even use Scotch tape, but I just didn't want the tape to show. But the, you know, I might try, let's see. Because I just don't want the Scotch tape to show, but Scotch tape can be so helpful. And I'll see, because Scotch tape is kind of wide, and look at how narrow the space between the little tab and the edge of your box is. You see, it's not very wide, so Scotch tape is going to be a little large, and you don't want the Scotch tape showing. You see, it's going to pop out from under this little flap. So it's good to just use the Tear and Tape. Let me put a little piece on the other side. Just right underneath the tab. I only made it as wide as the tab. And then we'll take my Evening Evergreen again. And all I did was I wrapped it around the box to see, okay. And let's see, how big is this? It is 4.5 inches. And I need 2 of those. So I'm just gonna, I just measured the box. So you're still getting that same effect with the green that we did on the card, but we're just putting it on the box. And you just put the butt of your ribbon on your tear and tape right there. Make when I get it all attached, I'm going to press it a lot harder than I did the first time on my other one. It's coming off, so, but I didn't want to take it all apart to try and fix it. Let's see if this helps. There we go. There we go. And so it's nice and tight. And I'm going to take my other piece. Same thing. You want to leave a tiny bit of space between the two ribbons, so you're getting the idea of the Haunted Mansion Disney ride. Haunted Mansion is a Disney ride at Disney World, just for anyone that doesn't know. I've said it a bunch of times, but not everyone's been to Disney World. I do a lot of Disney inspired cards. Okay, there we go. I've got it perfectly aligned all the way around. And then I'm going to press it down inward, and you fold one flap over. You fold, oh, so you know what? I wanted to press it harder. There we go. Just want to make sure I press really hard down, because I didn't do that yesterday and some of that ribbon, like I was saying, popped up. It doesn't look bad, but you can see it's like coming loose. Oh, see, now it's really come loose. I'll have to fix it before I give it to somebody. Okay, then I pop these in and pop that, see, and then it just holds together. So then when I get my pieces out that I was going to show you from before, I just didn't want to get all the pieces out and they fly everywhere. So, because I had that happen the last time I did these. So I cut out the wings of the little bat, and it just slides between the two tabs that popped out of the top. That's it. It just slides over the box that way. So it actually holds those flaps down and looks super cute at the same time. So you could easily just give the box just like this, but it occurred to me today that I could add a little 31. So I cut out a 3. Here's a 1. And make it like a Halloween one. You could easily make it like a little Halloween version. On the one I had made before, I just put it, you could even use this great Granny Apple green. I loved how bright the green was, but in reality, this is a much better version of the Haunted Mansion. And so I liked the idea of just putting this little 31. Putting the black on there, it's so dark. Let me try the 31 on the black, and you guys can see the difference. So here's a 3. So you could even just take the circle of just the 1, but it's kind of, it takes up the whole thing. Let me find it's here. There's the 3, and I know the 1 is here. There it is. See, this is why I didn't take them out earlier, you see? So let's see what it looks like with the black. Let's see if it shows up. Oh, it does show up. I thought it wouldn't show up because, you know, the black is so, the Evening Evergreen is so dark. But it does show up. Oh. Okay, I think I'll use the black and white. Instead of the white, I'm going to use just the black so it stays in design. And then I'm just going to close this back up. And, oh, I was going to show you with the stamp. So here is the stamp. The stamp for this die. You see, it's the same size as the stamp. It doesn't really stamp that outline in it. It does the tiniest bit, but it's not the same. I tried stamping it on top, but it's the same size. So this wider edge on the inside might stamp, but it's going to be a little tricky to get it done. So just letting you know. So there we go. Now I don't lose all my little pieces. And I'll just save those little numbers for later. And what I'm going to do, I got them like dirty. Excuse me. Let me get my tweezers. And I'm going to take my glue. And, oops, nope, that is too much. Let me get the... Yeah, these I just love these little boxes. They're the perfect little tiny treat. You know what I mean? Sometimes our treat boxes are too big. You know, to give people to fill sometimes a single M&M is enough. You know, like a single M&M package is enough. But sometimes treat boxes are so big that you can't fit, let's see, I want to get the tiniest bit of glue on the edge coming out. Just a tiny bit. Hold on. I think I got it. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take my number, my 3, and use my tweezers, and I'm just going to rub it on the edge to pick up that little bit of glue that came out. And then I can put my 3 down. I'm going to do the same thing with the 1. Because these are very narrow. You can, you know, we also have a fine tip glue pen, but I don't have one because I just never used it enough. So it kept drying up on me. So it was kind of a waste to have. And so I'm squeezing out glue over on the side here to make sure it comes out. There we go. And then there's a tiny bit left on the lip of the bottle. And it's just enough to get your 3 and your 1. There we go. Cute. There we go. And again, I'll use a little dimensional from the black dimensionals, which I never used, but I need to use those. I'm putting it right in the center, and then I'm going to pop it on my box. There we go. So there are our 2 cards. I really want to fix this. It's annoying me. There we go. There we go. Good, I didn't even pull it up too bad. Here, I'm gonna fix this because I made it crooked, a little too crooked. And so it was like kind of off center, like cattywampus a little bit. You probably couldn't tell in the video, but I wanted to fix it before I sent it to someone. All right. So let me go ahead and put my dimensionals right where I need them on the ribbon. And that way I know, yeah, that's good. And I'm going to put 1 here up because it gets a little narrower at the top, and 1 here. And I think I'm going to put 1 right here in the center. And that way I know it's going to be more even. Okay, let's see. There we go. Yeah, that's much better because it was like crooked. It was off. It was slightly off. You wouldn't have noticed it, that it was off center, but it was flipping up on the side. So there we go. So there's our Haunted Mansion Halloween card and box. And this is all current product that we have right now. This is from the Best Witches stamp set. And this is from the Scary Cute stamp set. This is from Best Witches. And then again, Scary Cute. I just thought the frog was stinking cute and he'd be perfect for this, the inside. And so, and this is the Evening Evergreen Open Weave Ribbon and Evening Evergreen paper, black paper. And this is the Design a Treat dies and stamps. And like I was showing you, you can do Easter, Christmas, the numbers. Oh, and this is so perfect for like a label, this would actually go, this is really large. So what happens is this actually goes wider than the box. This like, to me, it looks like a papel picado. Like, I don't know if you know what that is, but like a little flag. So this is actually like a little bit bigger. Scalloped little piece is a little bit bigger than the box. So it would be wider than your box, but it sure would look cute. And then if you added these little bows on the top, it would look like a gift. Yeah, so I mean, it just has a lot of potential, a lot more potential. It looks so plain when you look at it, but look at how this stripe right here is very much like the stripe from the Haunted Mansion design here. Cause like they've got these two stripes and the narrow black, like, anyway, I just think there's a lot of potential of this all of a sudden now that I hadn't noticed before. Cause I've just started playing with it. I want to do some Christmas things, obviously. So, but I just thought, well, I'll do a bonus card for you guys today. So this is our bonus card. So I hope you enjoyed it. And don't worry about this one here where the, you know, the tape came up. Like I was telling you before, I didn't measure it and I didn't make sure it was fully secured. So I'm going to make sure I secure it so that when I send it to someone, it's all nice and strong. And look, I fixed it already. It just needed a little reworking. It needs to be really pressed down. And then you don't even need to put glue on the box though. Remember, that's my favorite part, is technically you don't even have to glue these boxes. But I really wanted sharp edges for this particular project. But if I were making these en masse for someone, I wouldn't glue them down. I would just fold them up. I would fold them up and that's it. Because people are going to throw this away anyway. Most people are. Not everyone's going to save it. I might save it because I love Halloween. But many people are just going to throw the little box away. So why make the huge effort to glue it if it's just going to get tossed, you know, especially if you're making a ton of them for like a party or something. So yeah, so there you go. Little Halloween / Disney today. So you get a little bit of both worlds today. And so I'm so glad to share that with you. Don't forget, today is the last day, or tomorrow is the last day to use this host code if you want to order any of the items that I showed you today. So today is the last day, or tomorrow is the last day to use this host code. This was October's host code of 2022. So yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks, Sylvia. I'm glad you liked it. I thought it was pretty cute too. Haunted Mansion is just one of my favorite rides. I think it is my favorite ride, to be honest. I love Space Mountain. Yeah, Haunted Mansion I think is my favorite. I really do think it's my fave. I have to ride the Haunted Mansion every time I go. And Space Mountain, but oh no, you know what? That's not true. Not Space Mountain. Thunder Mountain Railroad. Thunder Mountain Railroad is my favorite roller coaster. And then Haunted Mansion is my favorite just ride in general. But my favorite roller coaster is definitely Thunder Mountain Railroad, because it's the wackiest wild ride in the West. And so, yeah, that one's always my favorite. I don't know if it's just because it was like country. I don't know. So, yeah. So thanks for tuning in. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys have a good Halloween tomorrow and that everything is great. And thanks, Terry Lynn. Hopefully you got some good ideas. And yeah, and so tune in tomorrow. I have a Hunchback of Notre Dame inspired card. Monday is Magic Monday, so I do always Disney cards on Monday. But you got a bonus card on Sunday. So, oh, I need to stamp a frog on my envelope. I need to do that. So have a great day, guys. I'm gonna stamp my little frog. You know, I always gotta have a something cute on my envelopes. That's my MO. And so let me stamp that here. I always love to stamp a little something. The frog is too cute. I guess I could have used the bats, but too bad. The frog is it. I just can't get enough of this dang frog. So, all right. Have a great day, guys. Thanks so much.